And remember, whatever you do, doing something is better than nothing. What was life like 10 years ago? Now, let me just give you some context on that.
Tom,
What
was life like 10 years ago?
10 years ago I was 10.
10 years is a long period of time. How different is your life compared to 10 years ago?
So this morning, Facebook told me that I've been using Facebook now for 10 years. Today is the 10-year anniversary of me being on Facebook. And I remember when I was first invited to join it, you know, there was an old school friend of mine that sent me a message, and I'm gonna be honest, there was very few people on Facebook that I knew. So yeah, I was kind of like, is this thing gonna catch on? Because at that point it was all about Friends Reunited. I don't know if you remember Friends Reunited, but certainly here in the UK, you know, it was a big thing. It was a way to reconnect with some old friends. This Facebook thing came along, I was like, I don't know if this is going to catch on or not, but it looks interesting, and unlike Friends Reunited, it's free, so I'm going to give it a go. Now, how different is Facebook in 10 years? But more significantly, how different are our lives in 10 years?
What was life like 10 years ago?
Oh, I didn't have a beard, that's a start.
So many people get focused on, you know, a long-term plan being weeks, months, maybe a year. But how can you predict what's going to happen in 10 years' time? If you look back 10 years, how different is your life?
When you think about what your life was like in 2007, if you weren't in your business, what was your career?
And that's what long-term planning is, right? Long-term commitment is decades.
Are you in a relationship with the same person? Do you now have more family members that you didn't have 10 years ago? Yeah, how different is life compared to 10 years ago?
Long-term commitment isn't, I'm going to do something for a month, I'm going to do something for a week, I'm going to do something for 6 weeks, I'm going to do something for 6 months. That's still short term. If you think of it in the context of your life, that is still short term. And you can achieve so much if you give something time, if you give it your perseverance, if you persevere with something, if you're persistent, if you're patient. That's how you win the game. That's how you win the long game in life. And that's how you can achieve anything you want. Now, there is no right or wrong in terms of what you should be trying to achieve. It's about doing what's right for you. It's not about what's right for me or what's right for anybody else. But if you're truly committed to something, give it time.
Most people focus on where could I get to in a year. But you know the thing with a year? Is people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Now you've got some context of how long a decade is. What could you achieve in the next 10 years?